Hey everyone, so I am here today to talk about a really touchy subject with you guys, and that is my acne story. So I got a lot of good and positive feedback and some interesting questions on my how to cover acne video that I did about a month ago, where I showed my real skin for what it is and how I cover it to make it look absolutely flawless and perfect. So if you want to see that video, you can check it out right here. I'll link to it so you can check it out if you are suffering from acne and want to cover it without looking cakey. So let's get started on my acne story. So this is kind of a long story, so I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible so that you guys can all know what's going on with my skin, why I have such bad acne, and why I didn't have acne in my older videos and suddenly I have it now. When I first started YouTube about maybe 3 years ago, I was inconsistent with my videos. They started off pretty rough like any YouTubers would be, and then I kind of stopped. And why I stopped was because in that stage of my life I started getting extremely bad acne and I had no drive to film any videos. So that was about when I was, I think, 18 or 17 when I started YouTube. And kind of, yeah, so 18 or 17, and I started YouTube because, as most people, it was just inspiring to see other girls doing it, and I wanted to do it as well. In those years, I suddenly started developing really bad acne, and it was kind of a slow build up to, you know, occasional acne on that time of month, and then suddenly it started getting more consistent and consistent. The pimples started getting bigger and bigger, and then they were just getting more deep set and turning into cystic acne. So this was really tough on me because throughout my adolescence and teenage years I had no acne at all. I would get the occasional big zit, but that was mostly just from hormonal things. It would be maybe on my chin or on my nose, and that would be it, and it would go away. I never had to wear foundation. I would only wear powder, and I never had to wear concealer either. So once I hit 17, 18, everything started to change and I started developing really bad acne throughout the span of 1 year. After that 1 year, when I turned 19 and was going into my first year of college, I really started developing cystic acne, and it was quite bad. So some of you as teenagers, if you're watching this video, might think, oh, well, that's weird because you shouldn't get acne when you're that old or that age. You should be getting over it. But truth of the matter is, most people develop acne once they turn into adults rather than in their teenage years. It is extremely common for adults to have adult acne, and it really is frustrating because, you know, most people think it's kind of like an immaturity thing to have acne, but it really isn't. A lot of adults suffer from it. So I didn't know this at the time. I didn't know what to do with my skin. I would scar immediately when I got a pimple, and it was really, really frustrating. I tried everything from topicals, cleansers, you name it, moisturizers, creams. Nothing worked, and for the matter, I also had sensitive skin, so any kind of topical acne treatment that you would put on a targeted area would burn my skin and make the pimple more inflamed and irritated. So I really felt like I was at a loss. So my parents decided to help me out, and they started taking me to a dermatologist to try out medications to see if that would help my acne. I had been on, was it tricycline or tetracycline? Tetracycline. I was on tetracycline, minocycline, and then I was also put on a hormonal birth control to help control my acne. Now, the tetracycline worked the first time I was on it, but then a few months later I got the acne back. Then I went on the minocycline, and the same thing occurred. It helped during the time I was on it, and then as soon as I was off, it came back full force. Then the birth control did help, but it only helped with acne that was around my chin, such as small pimples. It did nothing for the problem acne that I had on my cheeks that were deep-set papules that turned into cystic acne. It got to the point where when I was 19 going on 20, where my skin just looked like it was painful. It was always red and inflamed. It would hurt at times, and even my dad was sad to see my skin in such a sorry state. In this time span, I wasn't doing many YouTube videos because I was too embarrassed to go on video. I didn't want to have to load up makeup on my skin just to look presentable, and you know, I had such a lack of confidence. I really didn't want to do anything that would show my face in public. So after a year of having annoying cystic acne and papules under the skin all on my cheeks that would scar and leave me deep set scars as well, I finally decided, you know what, it's time to try my best to get rid of this, and I took myself to a dermatologist and they recommended that I go on Accutane. Now, I know Accutane is a huge controversy here on YouTube and on forums and on anyone that has experienced acne. No one wants to go on Accutane because it's such a heavy-duty drug that can really affect the long-term effects of your body. But to be honest, when you only live one life and you want to look the way that you want to look and you want to be happy, you don't want to be depressed, and you want to feel comfortable in your skin and your own body. So I decided, I don't care if I have long-term effects such as dry skin. It doesn't really matter to me. I just want to be happy, I want to be comfortable in my body, and I don't want to be ashamed of showing my face. So I was put on Accutane for a 6-month period like most people are, and I was put on the 40 milligram dosage. I would take 2 pills a day, 1 at breakfast, or 2 pills twice a day. I can't entirely remember, but I was put on that for 6 months and it really did work. It seriously worked so good. And if you guys have watched me for the past year and a bit and you saw my earlier videos where I had absolutely flawless skin, that was right when I finished my Accutane cycle of 6 months. So my skin was flawless, I had no breakouts, I would get the occasional tiny pimple around my chin just from that time a month, and otherwise my skin was flawless and I was so happy. Now, of course, while I was on Accutane, there were some side effects such as slight depression. It wasn't really depression, it was more like you felt down and a little bit extra emotional and sensitive to things. I did get extremely dry skin and my lips were dry, but other than that, I had no bad side effects. It was just mainly the dry skin. So I really recommend Accutane because I personally did not have a bad experience with it. I had a really good experience and I was acne clear for about a year and a half after that, or 2 years, no, about a year and a half. So you may be wondering, why am I doing this video and what is going on with my skin? So to be honest, my acne has come back after Accutane. It took about a year and a half and then it slowly started progressing and coming back to what it used to be. So I have about the exact same style of acne that I had before I went on Accutane, and you can see like it is pretty red and inflamed, but it isn't super bad. It's not as bad as it was about 2 years ago, but it is pretty bad and it's pretty consistent and it is scarring my face and skin. So as you can imagine, this has really been hard on me, especially since it all kind of exploded as soon as I moved to South Korea. So in such a dramatic change in my life, I think it was also influenced from stress, but the fact that I'm unable to get rid of it with all the skincare here and all the topicals, it really is quite frustrating. So once again, I've tried everything I did before, thinking, maybe it's not as bad as it was before, maybe I can control it this time. But to be honest, I can't. So here in South Korea, I had to go to a dermatologist and I had to tell him my story. I went to an English-speaking dermatologist in Seoul and he helped me out and he said, you know what, if the only thing that worked for me before was Accutane, then I'm gonna have to go on it again, except this time I don't have to go on such a heavy dose. So this time I'm on 10 milligrams a day of Accutane and it is working. So some of you have mentioned in my last video that my skin is looking a lot better and I should do a skincare routine, but to be honest, my skincare routine has not changed too much. It is the help of the Accutane, and I've also cut some things out of my diet and watched what I was eating here in South Korea a little bit more. So overall, if you're wondering how my skin has started to improve, it is because I'm on Accutane once again, and the only side effects I'm experiencing with it this time is the fact that I do have the dry skin coming back. So that is a little bit annoying and my lips are quite dry, but otherwise I'm really happy that I'm starting to see results. I've only been on the Accutane for 1 month now and I'm really happy that I'm finally getting this under control, because moving to a new country that is so foreign to you is really high stress, and then to also get such horrible cystic acne on top of it is just another stress I don't need right now, and was really taking down my confidence. I haven't done any makeup tutorials on YouTube recently because I feel like when you have such bad acne and you're trying to do a makeup tutorial, it really makes the makeup look bad, and I felt like it wasn't really worth it, so it really hit my confidence a little bit here on YouTube. So that is also a reason why I've been fairly absent on YouTube lately since I moved here. That's my acne story up until this point. So if any of you were wondering why I had such bad acne all of a sudden when you're newcomers to my channel, now you know why. You know my whole acne story and what I'm doing currently to help cure my acne. So if you guys have ever suffered from acne, or you're suffering from acne right now and have been afraid of the word Accutane or the idea of Accutane, don't be too afraid. If you're that afraid, just ask for a low dosage and you'll get less side effects. And you know, I was perfectly fine on it. I don't have any health issues nowadays from it, and you know, it's something I recommend, especially if it really hits your confidence having such bad acne. You know, we all want to feel comfortable in our own skin, so you should be able to do what you want to do to make yourself happy and comfortable. And you know, it's never good to hide under a layer of makeup. You should be able to reveal your skin for what it is and be comfortable and proud of it. So that's my acne story, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave any comments down below if you have similar skin issues like me, or you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Make sure you subscribe to see more videos, because I will be starting to upload now that I'm feeling a little more confident. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. So today I'm going to show you guys how to cover up acne without looking cakey and without wearing a ton of makeup. So as you can see, today Kyla and I are in Myeongdong for the third time, and we're going to get a massage, and then we're also going to maybe get the fish biting on our feet, check out some shopping.